The 1st of July means a day off work. It's the unofficial start of summer, and millions of Canadians celebrate with barbecue sizzling, hammock swaying, and fireworks blasting. For 32 years now, July 1st has been known as Canada Day, but undoubtedly some old-timers, that is to say those Canadians who have memories stretching back to the early 80s, likely recall the original moniker for July 1st. Check out this file footage from the archives, folks.
This is Ottawa, 12 o'clock noon, July 1st. Dominion Day, Canada's national holiday.
That's right, the original name for our July 1st birthday bash was Dominion Day, a holiday officially established by statute in 1879, but one that was sadly consigned to the scrap heap of political correctness. In fact, say Dominion Day to an entire generation of Canadians these days, and they'll think you're chatting about a certain retailer.
Why do more Canadians shop at Dominion than at any other store?
Why, it's mainly because of the meat.
Mainly because of the meat?
Yes, it's mainly because of the meat.
The sneaky process that resulted in Dominion Day's assassination is certainly a story worth retelling. The deed took place in Parliament on July 9th, 1982, back when the Trudeau regime was calling the shots. Purging Dominion Day from the Canadian lexicon occurred on an otherwise laid-back Friday afternoon, the last day of Parliament before the summer recess. A mere 13 members were present, 7 short of an official quorum. Alas, so much for formalities. A private member's bill seeking to officially expunge Dominion Day and replace it with Canada Day was quickly rubber-stamped, and faster than you could say fuddle-duddle, more than a century of history disappeared.
Hasta la vista, baby.
So sorry that clip wasn't in one of our 2 official languages, folks, but you get the idea. Still, the purging of Dominion Day was consistent with what Liberal governments have been doing since Lester Pearson took power, which is to say it was all about rebranding Canada. Too bad, according to the Monarchist League of Canada, Dominion is a very proud and powerful term. After all, the preamble to the Canadian Constitution, you know, that document so beloved by Liberals then and now, states that there shall be one Dominion. And monarchists note that the D word is misunderstood. Dominion is synonymous with independence, freedom, and free association, not subservience or colonization. Alas, a contributing factor to Dominion Day's exclusion from the Canadian holiday vocabulary is that Dominion does not translate very well into French, and given that pandering to Quebec sensibilities is practically Canada's national pastime, Dominion Day was perhaps doomed for this reason alone.
Take off, eh?
Again, how very sad. After all, the genesis of Dominion Day had much to do with that very positive Canadian attribute of compromise. As noted in the Canadian Encyclopedia, Dominion refers to the Dominion of Canada, to the federal government or Parliament, and to Canada's status in relation to the imperial government. The Fathers of Confederation wanted to call the new nation the Kingdom of Canada, but the British government, fearing the sensitivity of Americans to references about the Crown and anxious not to antagonize them after the American Civil War, insisted the Fathers find another title. Leonard Tilley suggested Dominion from Psalm 72. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea and from the river to the ends of the earth. The Fathers said it was intended to give dignity to the Federation and as a tribute to the monarchy principle. Under the Constitution Act 1982, Dominion is Canada's official title still. But then again, on sober second thought, no wonder Dominion was given the boot, folks. So B&B, biblical and British, that never jives well with Liberals. Now, agendas aside, perhaps rebranding wouldn't have been so offensive if only the replacement for the regal-sounding Dominion Day wasn't the appallingly bland Canada Day, a McHoliday if ever there was one. Can you imagine Independence Day being replaced by USA Day? The most important American holiday would end up sounding like the name of a national newspaper, much as our most important national holiday is now one consonant removed from a certain beverage.
Canada Dry Ginger Ale comes in the handy 6-pack. So light, dry, not sugary sweet, not filling. So sparkling, the bubbles tickle your nose.
Forgive me if I do not use the champagne of ginger ales to raise a toast to this particular name change switcheroo. Even so, wouldn't it be a fitting birthday gift if the Harper Conservatives were to undo this particular example of Liberal vandalism, restoring Dominion Day to its rightful place? And why not? In 2011, the Harper government put the R word, royal, back in the name of Canada's Navy and Air Force. So yes, the restoration of a name can be done. Granted, changing the name again of our most important holiday is not high on the priority list, but it would certainly be something worth celebrating, at least for those Canadians who still care about history and heritage.